Oh, this is for the sippers.
Yeah, we sipping in conversation. We sipping in conversation. We sipping in conversation. Yeah, we sipping in conversation. We sipping in conversation.
What it is, or what it do. If your homegirl sipping, then bring her on through, huh? What it is, or what it do. If your homegirl's thinking, then bring her on through, baby.
What it is, what it do. If your homeboy sippin', then gon' come through. What it is, what it do. If your homeboy sippin', come through.
What it is, or what it do. If your homegirl sipping, then bring her on through, huh? What it is, or what it do. If your homegirl's thinking, then bring her on through, baby.
What it is, what it do. If your homeboy sippin', then gon' come through. What it is, what it do. If your homeboy sippin', come through.
We sipping in conversation. We sipping in conversation. Yeah, we sipping in conversation. We sipping in conversation.
Real talk, real life, real people. Real talk, real life, real people. Hey, real talk, real life, real people. Real talk, real life, real people.
Sipping the conversations. Sipping the conversations. Hey. Real talk,
Real life,
real life.
real people. Real talk, real life, real people. Hey,
Real talk, real life, real people.
Real talk, real life, real people.
In 10, 9, 8. Yeah, what's good, sippers? What's good, everybody? What's good? Good night. Can we get some type of energy going on?
You better say, no, you talking about everybody.
You
I
had
thought
this
you
whole
meant
intro at the
everybody.
beginning, and you ain't did none of that. I was just starting. Listen.
You don't say everybody.
Look, run it back. Hold up. Hold up. All right, everybody. Welcome to What the People Say. This is the collaboration between Sippin' the Conversations and John Lee from 1983. I am your co-host, along with my other two co-hosts, as you affectionately know them as Buddha. Hey, what's good, sippers? And Baby. And let me just go ahead and tell you people what the people say and what it's all about. As I said before, I'm the engineer. But listen, this show is not a show. This is family. This is us connecting, laughing, living, and loving on each other. It's all about spending real time with real people, sharing real conversations, and celebrating life. Each and every episode, these are my co-hosts. We do this together in collaboration. So without further ado, Buddha and Baby, tell me what you're sipping on.
Oh, me. What I'm sipping on is the root to the beer and nothing else in it.
The root to the beer.
That's it, man. I got nothing else in it. I got to work tonight. And so there you go.
I heard that. So Buddha got to clock in after this podcast. Shout out to Buddha for being the awesome guy he is. You don't get people out here like that. You know what, Buddha? You deserve this. That's praise, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing the unspeakable things that are hard for a lot of us to do. Be scheduled the day off and go in. Shout out to that man. Now, Baby, what you sipping on?
Yeah. Well, 1800 coconut. I normally don't tell y'all what the brand is because until we, ante up.
Mm-hmm. Get them brand deals.
You know what I'm saying? But I stay drinking it. So 1800 coconut today with a little splash of guava, fresh guava juice, and a little bit of hibiscus ginger beer.
and some lime juice.
What that taste like, though?
Tropical.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like you're back there in Florida.
Yeah, like I'm on a beach because I'm missing the beach.
Which one?
So
Cocoa Beach, Titus Beach.
Oh, the
Playa Linda.
Linda. What time?
I miss any beach in Florida I could walk around in my birthday suit. I miss those beaches.
Mm-hmm.
So in light of things y'all see kind of changed up, just for the record, I want Buddha to do his part that he always say to me because it's just so sweet. This the part that he always do. Do it again, Buddha, for the what you sipping on part. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. What's good, Sipper? This is your boy Buddha over there. Is the lovely
Baby.
and we coming to you live with another rendition of
Sipping in Conversation.
And not only that, we have our guy, the
Fixing
number
his
one engineer,
engineering equipment.
who's putting it together. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, is John Lee from 1983.
Thank you. Yes. I am tangled up in the wires. But you know what? We are not going to let those wires get in the way of this program.
Yeah.
We've been working hard on this for the last 5 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And even the day after service, I know y'all like how that boy always be talking about God and everything. He out here with his whole bird chest on. Well, let me just tell you, because I love you guys that much, we agreed to keep the air rolling on 77 right now. So I might be sweating. So you might see me come all the way out my top. But that has no bearing on how much I love God. Okay, but I'm sipping on the Buddha special for my brother because he can't have it right now.
That's okay.
But he can describe it better than I can sit there and sip it.
So the Buddha special is comprised though. You like that word? Comprised.
Comprised
of the root to the beer with a pinch of cinnamon.
Okay.
And some ever-loving cognac. I am not going to say the name because they ain't paid me yet.
They ain't paying for the
I slipped
advertisement.
up on mine. I wasn't supposed to say that about the name. We gonna get better at that because but we gonna get there. That's for sure.
That's it.
We've been talking about it for a long time, but it's time to be about it. You know what I'm saying? Somebody want me to sip on they fine adult beverage.
Libations.
We just want them to transfer them dollars from the television to the podcast. So we gonna speak prophetically on that, and we already know where there is a ram in the bush, there is an opportunity.
Hey,
so hit us up. We are willing to test your product out. Speaking of testing out products, I couldn't help myself. So let me dig underneath the table. We ain't gotta say the name, but it was a good segue. Okay. Peanut butter jelly time. I cannot help myself. I'm not going to well, you guys can see I'm going to turn the labels over. Don't get confused with the color, people. Don't get confused. And we are going to do a blind taste because we want the sippers to know who are sipping on their Sunday beverage how it pairs with this chocolate. So I have 2 packages, orange and purple and raspberry and orange. Buddha, which package are you going to dig in first?
I'll go to the raspberry.
There we are. Baby, that leaves you with the purple.
Okay.
Now, what we got to do here, just for the kicks and giggles, we are going to go ahead and open up the package and see what this product is about. Just because curiosity kills the cat.
I don't know how to open stuff.
We want to open it the best way we can. I don't care if you got to tear that package open. I don't care how we got to get it. Let's give it to the people. That's what I'm talking about. Let's give it to the people and let's just see what's going on. Hey, and at all times, if you guys feel the need to, go ahead and drop a comment. I know we online. We on Sippin' the Conversations. We on John Lee from 1983. We is just out here just doing our thug thizzle. And based upon my co-hosts and their review, I will let you decide if you commentate and tell me which one to eat. The raspberry and orange or the grape and orange. You ready? It's peanut butter jelly time. Right. Peanut butter jelly time.
You ready?
Begin. They are chewing away. Buddha is chewing to the side. Baby's chewing directly into the camera. She's looking real serious. Buddha's wiping the sweat off his brow. Because it's 79 degrees in here and counting.
No, it's not.
But we are having a good time. Okay?
That's not bad.
All right, so baby, describe your treat.
It really tastes like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with grape jelly. Yeah. You got your chocolate, got your peanut butter, and you got your grape jam, spread over some bread. And that's what it's giving.
Okay.
Nice. Now, Buddha, give it to me, but give it to me Keith Lee style.
Oh, well, let me see here. If I had to describe this raspberry filled P&J Reese, I would say it tastes like a donut filled with raspberry jelly filled donut, topped off with a glaze of chocolate. So it's like a chocolate glazed donut filled with the raspberry.
The demonstration. Feel. I mean,
damn.
Does a gynecologist feel like that when you go in the room?
I don't, and they will stop.
Because that was one. It was the middle finger. Feel. Make it feel. I'm gonna feel this one up.
Okay. Wow.
All right, so people, I'm gonna let y'all take time, watch the broadcast. You guys decide: do I do raspberry or orange, or do I do purple and orange? And into the meantime, we gonna get into our first segment, Skraitup. Make sure y'all get a sip of y'all drink so y'all throat stay wet.
Oh, wow. And whatever you're sipping on, put that down in the comments below. They ain't nothing changed back there. That ain't changing.
Yeah, man.
So I want you guys to know we just commentating on what we want to commentate on. So about an hour or so ago, we were having a discussion with our best friend, ChatGPT, and was letting us know what's trending in these streets right now. Mm-hmm. So what's really going on, sippers? We got a whole lot to talk about, but Buddha, let's get into the first part.
Yeah, man.
The Diddy is diddling starting tomorrow. Tell the people.
Man, let me tell you, man, the trial of P. Diddy starting tomorrow. The funny part about it, you're supposed to be tried by your peers. I mean, is his peers all white and all female?
I think he got a white woman that helped him with the baby oil, so it only makes sense, right?
I don't know.
That's kind of strange.
Allegedly, co-conspirator with the baby oil. That's how he got the 1,000 bottles of lube, right?
Something.
It was a white woman. Let me just ask the people: would you help a man obtain 1,000 bottles of baby oil, sisters?
No,
baby.
No.
Let me ask you this,
unless
baby.
I'm freaked out, then that's different.
I mean, I don't get that.
And I don't mean freaked out in the wrong way. I'm talking about like, that's the word they use.
Well, you use his favorite word. You use freak.
Yeah, free calls.
Listen. Let's be 100. We've been in Florida long enough. We've seen quite a few things.
A lot of creeps and freaks.
What you gonna do with 1,000 bottles of lubricant?
I don't know.
Man, you ain't gonna ever be dry.
No. Hey, but shout out to a Butter Bliss body, because that's what's been keeping my skin supple.
So, man,
Butter Bliss.
So, I guess I need to ask a question, man. How do you even feel about the trial in its totality?
Me as a person, I mean, as a woman, and I'm going to just tell y'all right now, I do not care.
Ooh.
And I'm going to tell you, because that was out of my pay range. What they had going on had nothing to do with my pay range.
Right.
Everybody that was participating was in a different pay range than me, and it didn't stop not now bill, no food. It did not impact me directly. Is it right? I don't know, because if they willingly participated in these activities, then it ain't wrong. So however many bottles he got, he had parties. So what seems like a lot, 1,000 bottles is a lot. But if you're having a party with 2,000 people there, and you came here for the party, you signed up for the party, then hey, it's what it is. It happens every day,
Right.
unfortunately. So I don't hear anything about underage minors and things like that. So I can't even much get in. Not what I don't agree with is the drugging. If the allegations of drugging, the people being drugged, that without their acknowledgement
Consent. Mm-hmm.
and their consent, that is what I don't agree with anywhere for anybody.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. Listen, it's one thing to have baby oil. It's another thing to not have their consent. Don't manipulate for the cheeks.
I got you.
You show the baby oil and you leave it where it's at. They want to lube up with you, but you don't have to sneak it up in. Listen, you got to learn about Bill Cosby allegedly using pudding pops, right?
That sounds real freaky to me. Bully, did you go to a party that had 1,000 bottles of lubrications and
No.
products there?
No, I would not. But let me go ahead.
Have you ever been to a sex party?
Of course. Of course I have. Many of
Do
them.
you not think they had
I'm sure they had
things there?
oil, all that good stuff. But, everybody who was at the party knew what time it was.
Right.
And so.
Do you think anybody was drugged against their will?
I'm sure it was. But back to my thoughts on this P. Diddy.
Sorry. Since we was on P. Diddy.
Back to my thoughts on the P. Diddy situation. I think something's bigger at play. Now, did he degrade, demean women? More than likely he did. But I would question to say, how long did everybody know this was going on in the circle? And how long did everybody who went after and got him know this was going on in the circle? So you could have got this guy years ago.
Yeah.
Years ago. And stopped a lot of trauma, but you didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's no differently than they did with R. Kelly or any of the other guys who are repeat offenders. They've been doing it for years. And so I feel like there's something more else at play here that we don't necessarily know until it happens. Mm-hmm. So you really need to do is keep your eyes out and your ears to the street and see everything that's happening.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's go ahead and put it out there like this, right? R. Kelly's making I Believe I Can Fly, right? He wasn't getting canceled. When Diddy was remixing everything Biggie had ever done, he wasn't getting canceled.
Right.
They dropped a greatest hits and flop. They dropped the Love album. No Love Was Shown.
Right.
Hey, it's time to cash in them receipts.
Yeah.
You see, 1 Corinthians says you don't hold receipts, but Americans and people in general, we keep those receipts. And what they sit there and said is that, well, you're not entertaining like this now. Now let's go ahead and exploit all your stuff, because the one thing about brothers and sisters, right? No matter how privileged we become and how influential we become, mm-hmm. at the end of the day, what are we still referred to as in society, no matter how much money you have?
Still an M.
We still a ninja in the streets.
Still a ninja.
I'm not a ninja. I'm OJ.
Okay. Facts. Proving the point right.
Yeah.
But
wow.
Like if you think about it, everything for the last three guys, so we talking about R. Kelly, you guys talked about Bill Cosby, and now we're talking about P. Diddy. What do all three of these guys have in common? Obviously, they were very wealthy black people, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at some point, Bill Cosby was trying to buy NBC, correct?
Facts.
Okay. And P. Diddy was trying to own the rights to that tequila company they was trying to get.
He was trying to get that by force. That's that bottle of tequila with the many flavors.
So he was trying to really buy that whole thing and get it for himself. And then, R. Kelly, he has a tremendous catalog of people of music that the people wanted. And how do you do those things? You put them in, you confine them to a space where they can't touch their assets.
And America has shown, we'll let you be rich, ninjas, but make economic wealth. I mean, how many sports franchises? How many sports franchises are owned by Black Americans? I mean, they got Jordan to sell the Hornets.
That's it.
And he had no reason. He make $110 million annually, and he sold it. They said allegedly for gambling debts.
That's it, man.
I tell you what,
when they get you, when the system get a hold of whatever it is your vice is, it's only a matter of time.
It's always a matter of time.
Baby,
and I
words?
don't understand how that, when you become a celebrity or just, here's the reality, when you get to be in a certain income bracket,
Mm-hmm.
you're still a person, absolutely. But it means that all the things that you're doing as a person is still going to be perceived as, how dare you, even when, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So the best thing you can do is just be your true, authentic self. And I think really what a lot of them need to start doing is get ahead of their shit. They need to make sure they lawyers on retainer, they got their retainer all ready to rock and roll, and just do you. Because if you like doing these things, hey, I like doing these damn things.
Right.
Say that. Like, I don't know, but if you try to keep it as a secret and you be in these old high society ass dungeons and whatnot, that's what's gonna happen. It don't matter how high of a price you put the entry to be, because that's what that normally happens. They make these prices high for the riffraff to stay out.
Right.
But they also got to know that what you said, you infiltrate from the inside, not the outside.
Exactly. You know where I got that topic? You know what I got that idea from? Just real life. They've been doing it to us so long. They got our culture. They got our music. They got everything we do.
Because it was on the inside.
Because they on the inside.
How did they get in though?
Oh, yeah. They got in there. Because they unsegregated society. Allow black and white to go to school together so as we learning them and trying to be like them, they learning us.
But they were learning us from an economic perspective. We were just learning them just for what were we learning from them when everything ultimately was taught by us.
Man, it's $1 in a dream.
For us, by us.
Yeah.
For us.
Right. What we learned, it was a whole $1 in a dream, baby. There's $1 in a dream. We seen white and we thought it was right.
Oh.
They beat that in us. They beat that into our ancestors.
Okay.
Right?
Amen to that. Now let me go ahead. Excuse me, I need to take a sip real quick.
Straight up.
So we got both perspectives. Go ahead, give us your final thoughts.
I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so she says she's done. That's cool because we got to get into the next round. Baby, say it with your chest. Black History Month, Trump signed Executive Order 14151, effectively trying to do what with our 29 days of historic American acknowledgement?
That's getting rid of the Black History.
Getting rid of Black History Month. Already got the shortest month. Now he's saying it ain't good enough. That ain't good enough. Do away with it all. Make it all inclusive.
Yeah, I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with it by a long shot. One, because there's a high percentage. I don't know, but just in my personal Black opinion, 90% of things that we have up to date, styles, culture, food, across the board, you name it, right? It was derived by someone Black. And to say that, to minimize it and try to take it away, it's a complete insult. And I'm not okay with that at all. I don't even know how a person that has felonies get to say those things.
Shots fired.
Doesn't he have multiple though?
34, I believe.
34 low-hanging felonies, but yet he has felonies on his record. And you know what? If he was a ninja on the street in Orange County, Florida, he would have no economic opportunities with just one of them things. But he got 34 and how you in office? How do you declassify
How do you
a
qualify?
felony?
How do you qualify for anything with a felony when we know the average black man and or woman can't ascertain adequate employment or just sustain a quality livelihood with a misdemeanor?
Real simple. Money will get you out of all the shit. That's one thing I learned from OJ. You know what I'm saying?
It only gets you so far.
Hey,
Because
The
they
glove don't
what they
fit.
gonna do? What they gonna do to
They
you?
got it.
What
They
you
want
said
you.
they gonna do? They gonna take it.
they're gonna take it. They took it from him.
Okay.
But he showed the world how it need to be done. Then let's get this one thing straight. OJ got off, correct?
Mm-hmm.
What was the next thing that happened?
Civil suit.
Okay. Let me tell you. Now that happened. But let me tell you the next thing that happened. Yours truly, your boy Snoopy Doggy Dog had a murder case. Had a murder case that he enlisted the great services of Johnny Carpenter right after.
Because you know why? I'm innocent.
He said if you had the money, you can get off. He showed the blueprint on what it took to get off.
Wow.
And then all of a sudden, all the rules changed not too long after. So again, in these situations, when you're talking about the Great Orange, or what is it, 48, 47?
He's at 47 now.
He's
But hold up. Obama was 45, Biden 46. No, Trump 46, Biden 47. No, Obama was 44.
Mm-hmm. So he's
Trump
47.
was 45, Biden 46, Trump 47.
He's 47. So
Fact check me if you don't agree.
So hey, man.
On TikTok, I think his name is
So-
Terrell. Something Trust Terrell. He called him Wig and his Cabin in the Combs.
So interesting enough, man. You get things. You can get information out of the smallest things, right? Out of the smallest things. Everybody watch Boondocks.
Yes.
We watched Boondocks, right? So it was an episode of Boondocks.
Thuggalicious?
No.
Uncle Ruckus.
Uncle Ruckus. There was an episode of Boondocks where Uncle Ruckus died and went to heaven.
Praise white Jesus.
Right. But if you understood what what they were talking about, he was sitting in the carriage, flying through heaven with Ronald Reagan.
What?
I remember that.
And then in that episode, they talked about Black history.
Mm-hmm.
He said Black history is the only month that reminds Black people of slavery. So white people really thought that way. Then getting rid of that idea of Black History Month would not remind people of the true history of America.
So they really, if that's what they really think, then they are laughing in your face, Black America, because there is no month that you could take or give that will erase the facts.
So as they give it, so will they take it away.
So people, I'm sorry to disturb, but that's when we got the sound effect. Hey people, we gotta ask you a question. How do you feel? Do you think President Orange, number 47, did you a service by taking away your PTSD and removing Black History Month so we no longer have to discuss it unless it's in one of those cinematic movies where they whipping us with lashes and calling you the N-word and spitting in your face, because even as sinners, they had to put that propaganda in there. Did they not, sis? And it was directed by a Black man. But Warner Brothers said, hey, let's make this historically relevant. That's that Buddha special. That's the Buddha special.
I still haven't seen Sinners yet.
But let me tell you, I'm just going to go there. It was in what, Clarksdale, Mississippi? Yeah, because me and sis want to go see it, and they still had to put them white robes in the movie, even though it wasn't really a major event. But they had to remind ninjas, you're still ninjas, and we did this before. And what happens in history if you don't learn from history, Buddha?
Hey man, they're gonna let you. They're gonna let you for real.
We're bound to repeat it again.
All right. So interesting thought. I just had this thought. Just came to me. So as they give it, they will take it away. So they gave us Juneteenth.
They did.
They gave us Juneteenth to cover up Father's Day. I will remain strong.
To cover up Father's Day,
To
Buddha.
cover up Father's Day.
I know my
the
baby
third,
not like
the
doing
third
that.
weekend, the third Sunday of June is usually heralded for Father's Day. Now we share this thing with Juneteenth, and not only that, it was all good. Fathers may have felt it some type of way, but the women was all good. Let's Juneteenth it up. Let's do this thing. And now they're trying to take away Black history. They gave us Juneteenth as an independence, the Black African American Independence Day. You got it. And now, since you got it, you don't need this over here.
You don't need a whole 28 or 29
So
days.
they give it so they can take away.
I don't care, because 365, 366 on the leap year, I'm still
A ninja.
I'm still a ninja.
I understand.
So it doesn't matter what month it is. And my history, the history of my existence, slavery, discrimination, lynching, whips, cotton, and all the above, it happened.
It happened.
It happened.
Yeah.
You cannot get rid of it.
All right, in 3, 2, 1. This was a good segue. I got something, right? This is the game I came up with as part of my show rundown. It's called Example, Talk Crazy, Stay Safe game. All right, basically, example. I'm going to show you how to talk reckless legally. You got to mimic it, flip it or pass it. What we're going to do is, right, I like what Buddha said, right? Allegedly, they made Black women independent so that they could minimize the Black man's contribution to the family. And now Buddha just went a step further. For the few, because that's how they see it, as monolithic, right, sis?
Yeah.
Monolithic. If one ninja don't take care of his kids, then what, Buddha? All ninjas don't take care of their kids. So let's talk reckless, okay? Allegedly, they have upped the ante and said, you ninjas, not only are we going to praise that independent single mother who took care of your kids because you got incarcerated for 25 years for a nickel bag in 92, that you can go to the dispensary and go get for free right now. They giving nickels away for free if you go inside a dispensary in Ohio, in Michigan, in California, in Illinois, maybe even in Tennessee. They giving you this stuff, right? Okay, allegedly, now they have hypothetically done away with recognizing Black History Month, Black Fathers on Father's Day, and gave us Juneteenth only to probably taking that away with DEI. So my little hypothetical, and I'm sorry for over flooding and sharing all that, because that's that Buddha special right there. You gotta holler at Buddha about that. Ask him for the ingredients. You put the cinnamon with the cognac, and boy, it does things. Not only to the libido, but to your body temperature. Yeah, my chest is feeling all extra hot right now, as if we have. She said kill it. She said kill it. Oh, she fanning me.
She's feeling loose.
Since we doing it, we pulling out the fans right now.
The fans
She's feeling loosey over there.
So that we don't get our podcast in any trouble, I've come up with a description. So it says John Lee gives an example of gossiping smart. Host must create a similar example or past. Okay, here's my example. Allegedly, Kanye bought Disneyland for Sunday service. It's allegedly, right? You can't get in trouble because it's all speculation. So allegedly, President Orange did away with DEI to cancel out the black man and not even give us the Father's Day card or dad book that we occasionally got. So, co-host, can we come up with another alleged thing that might be allegedly happening in society right now? Allegedly?
That's you, boo.
Okay, well, allegedly, they are trying to prop up the women's movement in order to digress the men's involvement. Allegedly.
I was going to go with something more your speed. Allegedly, Shador Sanders fell to the 5th round to humble Dion. Hey, thank you for watching. Like what you see, please consider subscribing. Hey, my bad. Let me just take a moment and explain something to you. We need your support. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Skraitup. And allegedly, the message was received because Shador, his first week in Cleveland, went to these high schools and tried to pour into these children, allegedly because the flashy big chain wearer, I'm going to do this at the combine, has allegedly changed his tune after the NFL allegedly humbled him and made him miss out on allegedly up to $50 million in upfront money.
No, that's what you want.
Okay. Allegedly, they are trying to dismantle the Department of Education and move everything to the SBA, which is Small Business Administration, so that minorities are unable to attend school and make it harder to have funding for your entrepreneurship opportunities.
Snap, snap, snap.
Y'all heard me on Facebook. I hope so.
Allegedly, us as a culture need to get back to what they call that, trade school. That's what we allegedly need to do.
All right, baby. I'm gonna say this for both of y'all. Allegedly, Kim Kardashian is in contentions to do a reboot to The Bodyguard as Whitney Houston. Allegedly,
the Army is going to be calling on the YNs, and that's the young N-word, to help defend the United States of America.
That's great. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Hey, that was a good run. Let's get to the next one. This is something that baby came up with. We're going to jump into it 38 minutes into the broadcast. Baby, you said it. I'm going to repeat it. Here we go. Forgive me, even if I never say it. Forgive him without an apology. Talk to him, baby.
Forgiving, it's, sometimes you got to just move on with your life. Oftentimes, we get so consumed by what the person, they never apologize to us, that we miss out on opportunities with the one we love or the people that's there, that's present, because they don't apologize, because they don't reconcile. Things like that don't happen. And so I think that more than often, moving into your livelihood with that trauma that may have happened 10, 15, 20 years ago, you need to forgive yourself for allowing that to hold you hostage and letting so many opportunities and possibilities that, are limitless pass you by.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So first thing I like to do is I like to tap in and say, L Doobies, what's good? How y'all doing today? Appreciate y'all joining in on the show. Based on what Baby is talking about, it's the same thing I've been saying a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about doing the work within, right? Understanding who you are, forgiving yourself for a lot of the things that are happening for you, because we haven't talked about this much. The law of attraction says, what you put out in the ether, so you shall receive. So you got to do the inner work in order to get the things that you desire. That's all.
Yeah.
And I just want to jump on to say this. Forgiving is not about you forgiving them. It is about you forgiving them. Let me just make sure I say that correctly. See, when we don't forgive others, we tether that emotion and that spirit to us. And when you start to realize you acting different and moving different, it's because you ain't allow that forgiveness to intercede. So you forgive so you can forget and throw into the sea of forgetfulness, because why are you going to take that with you? That you was wrong. They did you wrong. They did something scurvy to you. Yeah, I'm going to tell you, as a human being, humans do a lot of scurvy stuff. And because this is a collaboration, I'm just going to keep my reference to what I'm just saying. Work within your soul and seek, and you shall find. But that forgiveness is for you, so that you don't hold on to it, and so that you can move forward. Because something happens when you allow a situation to intercede into your life, and you don't move past and give yourself the grace and mercy you need.
So I'm gonna ask this question though, based on what you just said.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna ask this question. So forgiving is one part. But what about should you forget?
You don't have to forget.
And how do you handle the intertanglings of the forgiveness and the forgetting part? Because sometimes they intertwine quite often. Sometimes you get triggered because you never forgot it.
Correct.
And now you want to pull back on that forgiveness. No, Negro, this ain't it. We back on.
I'm with you on that though. I do believe again that you don't have to forget, but not forgetting it, for me, it's more like a stepping stone. It's one of those like blocks in life, right? So I'm not going to forget where I came from. I'm not going to forget the situation that happened. But what I have also done in the process of my internal work is I acknowledged my role in the situation.
Okay.
I took the accountability for how I got to that point. And that's what I don't want to forget. My role.
Good point. And I will just chime in because I'm the one that said forget, right? The reason why I'm saying forget is not that you're not going to recall. Because if you step on a push pin while walking on the floor, carpet the floor, you probably going to move different the next time, right?
Absolutely.
The lesson learned, right?
Look to the front.
So for me, not all relationships are meant to transition into the next season. And sometimes you want to forget, at least for me, because that pain, right? I want to forget. They say this. I used to say this all the time. I never forget how you made me feel. I might not recall the incident vividly anymore because life goes on, I move on, but you never forget, right? And I got the knowledge from that experience. So I need to just kind of forget it all together, because if I remember it in my future, right, I might start putting a barrier up with the next person because of the pain you inflicted upon me. And that ain't fair to them, nor it is to myself. Just because someone did something to cause me great pain. The biggest thing I could ever do, big up anyone in a vulnerable era, is forgive and forget, at least for me, because I know it was getting good, right? Trust me, your support will help us not interrupt the podcast in the future. I constantly do that. Maybe, I get better in time. But please enjoy as I continue to stumble over my words. Once again, please share, comment, follow, like, all of the above. It really makes a difference. Thank you for watching. Skraitup. Have the time. And see, it's like what they say about the good Lord, the sea of forgetfulness. I want to kind of throw some of that in the forgetfulness, because if I think about it too hard, it might bring up some pain that I might be ready to act on, and I don't need to be thinking like that.
So I guess the real question is, based on what I heard you say, is if you don't forget, and it keeps coming up in your mind, have you really forgiven? The answer to that is no, because if you keep getting triggered by past transgression, like I'll give you an example. And I've seen this happen. It's happened to me before. I'm sure this happened to a lot of men out there and some women. Y'all may not admit this, but y'all have done this. A man that cheated on you 10 years ago, right? They cheated on you 10 years ago. You wait 10 years to cheat on him back. And then you take it all the way back to where you cheated on me
10 years ago. Y'all celebrating Christmas?
As yo, so I gotta pay. I should get a pass.
I ain't waiting that long.
But no, I mean, this happens.
I ain't waiting that long to get my get by.
This happens. Like,
I mean, you bringing up a very valid point, and this is why I said love is not supposed to hold on to these receipts. That's not what love is about, right? So, like Buddha said, if you truly forgiving someone, then you try to forget it. But what does it say? Because let's be honest, we two third of the podcast.
Y'all human.
Why y'all ninjas keep doing receipts and try to bring them up as if they ain't got an expiration day on it?
Because what happened is y'all be getting brand new. Y'all be getting ripped out the plastic at the brand new.
Yeah. What?
Okay. And y'all be forgetting. Y'all don't be humble about it. That's y'all really be. I don't know what to say about y'all men folk. Many of you men folk, but that's where a lot of that come from. But I'm fair. I'm fair. I am fair.
Okay.
Women do be doing the most.
Oh yeah, they do.
A lot of women really be doing the most because why? Go on with your life, lady. Go on, ma'am, and do something positive. Do something else with that energy, because if the man don't want you, the man don't want you. Okay? And you put so much energy in the man that don't want you, you missing the opportunity with the man that do.
So
your friend zone him.
Yeah. So in the name of, not to cut you off, baby,
Yeah, go ahead,
I appreciate it. In the name of forgiveness, right? The forgiving part was they took him back.
Facts.
That was the forgiving part. He did the crime. They decided to stay with him, but they gonna punish him.
But hold on. Let me ask you. Allegedly, they ain't forgot.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
No,
I ain't doing it. I ain't doing neither one of them.
The ultimate goal is unconditional love, right?
That ain't real. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Go off,
Oh, see, I'm
allegedly.
So John Lee from 1983, he likes to go in different directions, and so in most of his directions lately has been on the spiritual tip, correct? And so allegedly, and so let's talk about. I'm gonna talk about this thing because this is tying into forgiveness. I'm gonna tie it all together: forgiveness, unconditional love, right? So if you forgive somebody, because if you want to talk about the Creator, He must forgive us, correct? For all our transgressions that we've done from the past and what we're going to do.
Knowledge, that's what repentance is for. When you repent and you ask our Maker for forgiveness, He puts them in the sea of forgetfulness and gives us grace and mercy, because He gave His only begotten Son so that we can have entrance into the kingdom, because we were not worthy, because our flesh keeps us bothered and hot. Okay. Allegedly.
So slow down. That was great, but slow down. Slow down.
Hey, tell a friend to chime in.
Yeah.
Make sure y'all sharing.
So I said all that because we're gonna go back to the beginning, right? In the beginning, He said that us man, was made in His image, correct?
Beautiful.
All right. And so as He forgives,
not you are made from my rib.
as He forgives, right, and gives and shows us the unconditionality of the love that he gave on us. If you believe in it, because you got the first part, you believe in it. You got to believe in the unconditionality of his love. If we're striving to be as he is, shouldn't we be unconditionality in our love and forgiveness?
But we got to practice it.
He gave us the tools. Some people, we read this, we know this. Everybody in America, living in America, everybody in America have a baseline understanding of what Christianity is. You had to, because we started out praying in school. We started out doing the great things, and the only time you got anything outside of Christianity is because your family brought that to you.
Hold on. Our Father, which art in heaven.
I pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
to the republic for
which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, they took it.
And they got out of the school.
Hey, you remember when they used to whoop your butt in school? How many killings you had allegedly in school when you had?
I never got power.
A lot of them.
You had mass shootings when God was in school and you was getting your butt whooped?
No, I didn't have no lot of mass shootings. That didn't happen. But I just want you to understand, as you trying to get close to godliness, that's what you're trying to do. If that's what you want to do, understand that this thing is called unconditional love, and you need to have it for your brothers and your sisters who do you wrong, and you need to move in this light if you so choose to believe in that type of way of living.
Facts.
So that's kind of how I tie that in: unconditional love, forgiveness, all in one.
And that was beautiful, baby. You got some final thoughts?
I don't think I'm supposed to go behind that. Yeah.
Next topic, then. Let's get into it. Baby, you want to lead? Is love. If love is free, why is my heart in debt? Why love feels expensive when it should be free?
Oh, did we talk about this a couple of weeks ago? Go
came
for
back
It ain't
up.
free.
The
The debt is the act. The love without the verb of it, is it love? What is love? Baby, don't hurt me.
I was singing it too.
No more. Now, for real. Love is an emotion. To love is the verb. To love me is to show me. To love someone is to show them by a form of an action. And so with that, the action part of it all is where the debt begins to grow.
Buddha?
Well, I'm gonna give credit.
That was my short version.
I'm gonna give credit to Baby, because that episode, I took the latter of the two, and she kind of changed how I thought about it in that moment. Love, you got to pay a price. You have to pay the price. It's not always financial. It's an emotional taxing. It's a spiritual taxing. And I'm telling you, man, if you're not willing to sacrifice yourself for those that you love, you need to start questioning, is it love?
Talk to me now. I'm going to say this. See, when you say, if love is free, why is my heart in debt? That's because you paying attention to the transition, the transaction. Why am I screwing? It's the Buddha special. It's the transaction. You looking at the transaction. A wise person once told me, right? You got two people, right? You trying to build a house, right? That woman cleaning up the inside, taking care of the inside, getting the interior, painting the walls. You out there, you putting the siding on, you putting the trim on, right? Who's to say which one is doing more? See, that's the problem. Hold on.
That's real bad.
That's the problem, right? Because we looking at the transaction, right?
Yeah.
Your transaction costs $299. Mine's cost $395. But at the end of the day, you can't have an uneven house, right? If the foundation ain't where it should be, then the house is going to eventually lean and fall down, like the big bad wolf did when she went and blow little Robin on out that house. So the thing is, it's based upon transactions to me, right? Because at certain points of times in your relationship, if you get there and you are vulnerable, you understand you might get laid off. Your partner might get a better job. Right. At certain times, you can take care of all the utilities. You can take care of all the mortgages. Right. And everything is solid as a rock, right? But there's going to come a time, unfortunately, if we don't plan ahead, right, that you might need to depend on your significant other. And if you're sitting there trying to tally and say, oh, I'm going to lay on the couch this month because I put $10,000 into the house last month. Now it's your turn to take care of me. Well, are you being a real partner to your partner?
Right. The work is every day.
Reciprocity is a real thing.
Now, reciprocity is different than transaction, right? When we sit there saying, I'm looking at the transaction that you made versus the transaction I made. We're looking at the investment.
It's uneven.
Right. Things are reciprocal. Let me ask you this real quick, right? One of the things that men don't pay enough time to is this, right?
Attention?
No, attention. No, yeah, that too. But when you get an old lady, let's go ahead and boo the baby. I just want you to sit on the sideline.
I ain't got nothing to say.
When you,
I want to walk off this conversation. Let y'all men talk it out because y'all need to work with each other.
Hold on. So let me just break it down to you real quick. What are some of the benefits from being in an exclusive relationship with a partner? I start. I'm listening. All right. No prophylactics. Okay. No online streaming if you are in sync with your significant other, right? No baby oil, right? It's naturally moist, okay? Ooh. Those are some big things that a man needs that he obtains when he has a woman. And when you have a woman, you have a good thing, and they provide in that. How do you put $1 on it? Because let me ask you this, Buddha. Yes. Are you going to settle for a woman that values that at $40? Or do you want something more intrinsic, something with higher value, something with a bigger return on the investment?
Well, I'm a little more different than that, but I got you. I want your soul.
You want to suck this? I'm sorry. You right? He wants to suck.
I want your soul. I want your heart. I want things to be a safe space before I can really dig into who you is physically. I need to know you got to have my back. Now I can party with you. I can party with you for sure. We could do that. I could separate the emotional tether to my member to what I'm going to do upstairs in my mind. I could do that very, very well. But if you want the true essence of who Buddha is, you got to create that safe space for me.
Yup. Yup. I got nothing. I can separate it all.
Go right ahead now.
Yeah. I don't know. I have the capacity to separate it all, and I don't know. It's just a me thing. I won't compare myself to the average woman because the average woman, she does desire companionship. Now hold on, let me just tell you, I do desire companionship. I said I can separate that.
Decoded, that means that she's not always going to do it, but she has the ability. Listen, key words.
All right, I just want to be paused. we is me. Do not want to be alone, okay? But it's all about perspective too, because companionship could be getting your oil changed. Blink, blink. Okay. Companionship could be long term. Companionship could be short term. So whatever your companionship is all I'm saying. So I have the capacity to separate it all, and I do believe that love is essential, and love is love. Period.
Right.
I know there's a lot of the agape,
eros, stoic, familia.
Right. So there's all these different loves, which is, it's in the Bible and all those, it's biblical and spiritual and all the things, right? But love is love at the end of the day. And at the end of each and every day that the sun rises and sets, if you're not putting in the work,
right,
it's dead.
Okay.
just like the faith.
I got a question, and maybe John Lee from 1982 can answer this one.
Talk to me now.
All right. So, how expensive these days is it to get a marriage certificate?
It's not that expensive for a marriage license.
So when I was married before.
$100? I don't even think
I was married before back in the late 90s. Not telling my age, but
Child, they know you old. Look at
but
they know you the old.
It cost me like $82 then.
I got mine in Duval for 75.
75. So
21.
Oh,
so,
they passing them out like kids.
No, so just understand, I'm steering the book. Just
Okay.
So if it costs you 82 or 75, let's round it up to 100. $100 just to get married. Why does it cost so much to get unmarried? It costs you up to thousands.
For real. They want to make sure you for real.
It really depends. At one point in time, to file for it, it costs $220, and then when you go to get a decree, it was $75. That's if it's non-contested, and then both of y'all agree to go your separate ways, and you guys don't have a lot of marital assets. But over time, right? Over time, it becomes a lot more expensive because you see, when you guys start to show patterns of depending upon each other, and y'all have children, and one person take this role and one person do that, then you got to start looking at the way of life and looking at, just say you get a job, right? And say that job take you from double digits to triple digits, right? You gonna have to pay a little bit more because of
a lot more work.
Like you said, they let a Negro be rich, but they won't let you do that Jay-Z economic wealth.
So if we look at it in a glass house, why in the hell am I paying more money when I don't want to be with somebody no more?
They want to make sure you for real. for real, you gonna pay.
Like, listen.
Because the communication now.
Then they saying, until you get this divorce, you can't marry no.
Not for 45 or 60 days in most states.
You can't marry.
Don't ask me why I know all this information. I got Chat GPT going on in my Ray-Bans right now. It ain't that. My Chat GPT going on my Ray-Bans. Hey, Meta, exactly.
I got you. But no, I mean, just really think about this. Like, you pay minimal just to get married, but it costs so much to get unmarried.
Right.
I mean,
I don't know. So you got more. So when you got married, it was at the top. Not saying digging the ditch is bad. I'm not saying digging the ditch is bad, or and I don't really want to use that as a reference, but let's just say when you get married, it's like at the bottom of the surface, and as you each year you go, you add it to a pile of goodness, greatness, badness, and et cetera, right? So now, in order for us to divvy this up evenly, okay, you're gonna use up a lot more time that they could be having other court cases. So you're basically paying for the other court cases.
I actually like how you just put that in perspective, because you got to look at it right there. We was just talking about transactions and debits, right? It don't become even Steven until you trying to find your way on out. And to further that, it's one of those things, right, where if you're going through it, this is what I would just recommend to anyone is first off, if you can get your significant other into therapy, and so that y'all can start unpacking the root of the problem, things might go a little bit better. But if you go in there, with your chest out and you showing your bird chest and you acting, like I ain't scared of nothing, well then, like you sit there and say, what? Bet straight up. And with that being said, look, hold on. And with that being said, look. With that being said, we gotta go rapid fire. We over 60 minutes.
Yeah, we wrapping it up.
Listen, I want to get into this. I want us to just go ahead and speak on this because we gotta get into our own little topics before we close the show.
Oh, we is.
But hold on, yeah, we got a couple corners to unpack. But listen, we're gonna make this because we had a great show thus far. But I wanted to go ahead and give this last segment a positive spin, right? It ran in my family until it ran into me. How trauma passes down unspokenly from generation to generation can you guys provide me one instance of where you have broken a generational curse amongst your family with you recognizing that it ran in the family until it ran into you, baby?
Not 100% because I don't want to say I was raised unethically because it was always about morals and values. But I think when it got to me, my mom was not in that small town anymore. She was actually in the big city. And so she had to evolve, and she did. So leaving me to be the big sister of the house, I don't know, just I don't know. I don't really know what I miss. Well, I'll say this. Not being having open conversations with my children and versus, like instead of them saying, don't do it and just that's it. I gave we had town hall meetings with my kids. So and I had a child early. But I had town hall meetings with them to expose the conversation and just feelings and things like that about sex, money, drugs, and alcohol. So I think I was one of the few that probably introduced an unorthodox um, kind of culture in my home.
Powerful. Booty got something? Talk to me nice.
Well, I mean, this particular time, I don't. The traumas that happened in my family are still there. I haven't broken no cycle. I mean, that's something I just need to work on. And it's me being honest.
And vulnerable. I appreciate
I love
that,
you,
brother.
baby.
Softball era. I appreciate that. I'm going to take this one because I thought about this one in depth. It ran in my family till it ran into me, meaning that communication is one of the hardest things for a black man to do, especially when he don't know how to talk brother to brother. You see, this is my sister right here. I'll call her for anything, and I'll talk her ear off. You see, that's my brother right there. He's dependable. He's reliable. He's always there for me. Tell me time you ain't been there for me. He's always there for me. I'm talking about, I'm going to take it back. I'm going to take it back old school to our Orlando days. One time, I was just being my usual random self, and I forgot how, but I made it into that parking garage. And these two saints, what y'all had to do, y'all had to find me and rescue me, because I was somewhere on Orange Ave doing something with God know who, and I didn't know anything but to call on these two. And of course, if it's late night, Buddha gonna drive. He ain't gonna let his lady go out there by herself, correct?
Correct.
So they both came to my aid.
Going to get that food from downtown.
The point I'm making is that I have a great relationship with these two of these people, but because of me and my disposition and not having strong relationships with men growing up, it's harder for me to have a true relationship with, men. Like out of everyone in Orlando is definitely Feek. What's up? I know you watched at some point in time, so that's your shout out. Everyone said that's my big twin because we both bald and cocky, but he made me look like
he's just a little tall.
Yeah, he made me look
Just
like
a little tall.
He made me look like dog, man. Like
That's my Aries twin.
Like one time we was out here at a function. It was sun dressed in shears, and I had a lady with me, and he got to dancing. I said, well, you become his lady. I ain't stopping it. I just gotta move forward.
The 100 men versus the gorilla.
Oh, exactly. He's that.
I tell you what, you want him with you.
You want him with you. Yeah. So facts. So the point is, it ran in my family till it ran into me. And one of the ways I came with a counter is that to my loved ones that I don't have a relationship with, what I have decided to implement and start doing is sending out letters. Because no matter where we at in life and no matter how we feel, man, it's something easier about just putting it on paper, sending it, and saying I love you. Get the hard part out and let that loved one know that you're thinking about them. You might not be ready to talk on the phone with them per se, but you can let your people know how you feel. And that's one of the things that I'm implementing in my life right now to stop with a lot of these divisions, because the one thing that I've learned in society, it was always easier to be around a woman. I was nurtured from a woman. I drunk my mother's bosom coming out the womb. The attachment and the affinity for women is real. But because I didn't, and no knock to my dad, because dad, he was a great dad, but he was more so for the weekends and he was for the wisdom. But because as I became older in life, I was trying to stand up as if I had a leg to stand on and try to convict him for what I felt he fell short on, not realizing that some of the same things he done dealt with is the same things I had to deal with my children. So it ran in my family till it ran into me. One of the things I will encourage anyone watching this to think about is that it's not always easy talking to loved ones, but ain't nothing like sending that card, which is at that grocery store,
Right.
or you writing a letter, or even putting in the chat GPT, printing it out, and just putting it inside the mail. Do something. You know what? You ain't even got to send it. Just write the letter at first, sit it in a shoebox like you used to do with your money back in the day when you was getting them jail sentences for them nickel bags. Yeah, I just stereotype my community, but don't judge me for it. Forgive me for it. Allegedly. That's just something to sit on, you guys, as we get ready to segue into our closing. So you guys ready?
Yeah.
Baby, you have the floor. Tell the people what you want.
If you have a loved one that requires your assistance because they have endured a health medical disability of some sort, it will be challenging. It will be hard, but just know that you can do it. I'm saying this because currently I got permission to say this. Currently, my 22-year-old is taking care of her father. He is a 2-stroke survivor, but it is challenging for her. But I see the effort that she is putting into doing the things. She don't even have children. So this is almost like her having a child. And I also want to give a special shout out to Buddha for allowing her to have this opportunity to be of servitude to her father. And I'm pretty sure if he could actually say those words, he may say something of similarity that, thank you. So we all thank Buddha. And I'm pretty sure her father is extremely proud that she's doing this. But men, take care of yourselves. Do the best you can with taking care of yourself now as a Black man, because far too often when you are not taking care of yourself, someone is left to take care of you, and it could be your 22-year-old daughter. Thank you. That's all.
Buddha, talk to them nice.
Oh well, 2 things. First of all, shout out to my cousin who has Down syndrome, Dion Smith. Today is his birthday. He turns 35.
We're supposed to be in Fort Lauderdale.
He just turned 35. So shouts out to you, big dog. If you see this, I love you. I always treated you like a brother. And then we had a passage from a comment from one of the watchers, Miss Martin. Seeking therapy, paying attention to my triggers, and not ignoring them to appease people. That was her acknowledging the things that she had to go through when she was talking about family, bringing the family stuff together.
Absolutely.
And what do you learn? What do you have on? And so with that, I got a lot of work to do. I'm going to take those words to kind heart. I'm going to definitely try to seek therapy. and not comfort in women and other things. Seek the therapy, do the work, and much love. But to answer, baby, um, this was a great opportunity, as we talked about earlier today, to show unconditional love. I promised her father when I first moved, when I first became a part of their lives, that I'm not here to take his place, but we're here for one common goal, is to make sure his daughter, who's in my now newly in my life, develops to be a great loving person. And what does that look like?
Yeah.
It looks like what we're doing right now.
And you guys, I just want to go ahead and say this for John Lee back from 1983. I watched an amazing movie. It was on Hulu. It's called Exhibiting Forgiveness. It's about a painter, a black painter, and he appears to have his ducks in order until it comes down to that one particular subject, his father. And this movie unpacked a lot for me because not only was it about his relationship with his father, it was his father's relationship with him. So the grandfather. And there's a reason why I sit there and said it ran into my family until it ran into me. A lot of times we try to be Superman and we try to do more than what we can do. And it's because we were taught early on, being in them single parent or sometimes two parent households, that one day we were going to have to be the man. And in America, it's a common thing. Tell our black boys to be strong. Tell them to not cry. Tell them to not exhibit emotion. Just be strong, suck it up. And then as they get older in life, they have to start to unpack it because that's where the forgiveness comes from. Things are going to happen to us all. And I say this, and I'm going to share with you guys where I'm at. And being that I'm her father, I just want you guys to keep me in your prayers because it goes without being said that a lot of people have known about my situation. A lot of people have chimed in on my situation. Hey, my name is John Lee from 1983. Along with Buddha and Baby, I would like to say thank you. In fact, make sure you subscribe to the Instagram, their YouTube, their Facebook, Sippin' in Conversation, or either Buddha, Budha, and Baby, Babi. Go check them out. Tell them John Lee from 1983 sent you. Skraitup. My daughter was found, as you guys know, and we are still ongoing therapy. And we're not publicizing our personal lives, but I ask that you guys keep us in your prayers because healing has started. And it's not easy. Forgiving, moving forward with those that you can move forward with, and loving. Just like my people said, we dealing with a stroke victim. We dealing with someone who has a diagnosis that they did not ask for. And on my side, I'm dealing with mental health. And I've been learning to be a caretaker and a caregiver to someone who did not ask for anything, but to be normal, to be full functioning, to go to school, and to be loved. So I said this because this movie was profound, and I won't spoil the ending. But when it's called upon you, I don't care, write it down. Fight with yourself, talk in private, consult with whatever you got to consult with. But don't suppress that feeling, that emotion. If something's telling you to lead, these two are the pillars of that to me. Because families are all different, and I think we need to stop looking at each other monolithic. So with that being said, I want to thank you guys for being with us for this episode of What the People Say, featuring Sipping the Conversation. My brother, Buddha,
Hey.
and my sister,
Baby!
I'm John Lee from 1983. And before we get offline, I just want to let you guys know for the next episode, your boy's launching their OnlyFans. And every week, the first subscriber gets to DM me and tell me what to wear for the next show. Pay the fare, pick the wear, help fund the show, and keep it moving real and independent. Straight up. So if you want to see me like this with the belly showing, I'm going to drop the link in the comment section.
Hey, I got to join this. I need to get my toes exposed. They say they paying for feet.
We're gonna start with OnlyFans and we're gonna take it from there. But let me just say this. I am a God-fearing Christian and Pastor Philip Anthony Mitchell. I am being shepherded by him in 2819. So don't get your perversions going, because a no is a no is a no. You might choose the color, but that's about it. All right?
All right.
And
It's going to be great.
we love you guys. We'll holler at you guys later. Do we got the music? Oh, I don't even know.
Conversation.
But we out.
Conversation.
I got to end the stream. Oh my goodness, look at that. It looked like a whole bunch of conversation. Hey, be sure to subscribe. New episodes are on the way. We're coming to all platforms. Just be patient, give us time, and as always, press on.